So the way I like to introduce speakers is I want to tell you why we invited them and how they fit in our program, and they can extol their own virtues as to their backgrounds. Don Cool is the CEO. Thank you. Is Lemus correct?
Yes.
Lemus, the Vice President of the clinical area. And the Change Company was brought to us through our large partner, IHPM. And IHPM is partnering with the Change Companies and has told us that they think that the Change Company approach and what we're going to have available to us is a missing link in culture change. That as the IHPM, which works nationally and internationally and watches large and small employers approach this issue of culture change, which everybody's recognizing as central to success, that there was a missing piece. And that missing piece has been that link between systems change, which we love to work in, and individual change, but they were kind of not linked together. And the approach that the Change Companies has put together with, and Don and Frankie will tell you, the people that are involved nationally that are really the national gurus for some of the aspects of individual and culture change, that it is, I was trying to think of what the best way to say it, but it's an integration or maybe the glue that's going to stick that individual change to the systems change and bring it together. So we have an opportunity to get on the ground floor as this is drawing on evidence that has been available nationally and things that have been done nationally, but bringing it together in a single approach that is practical, and applicable, and fun. And we will have the opportunity then to do that at our agencies with significant assistance from the national experts in how do you do this work. But I guarantee you that we're going to give back to them because they're going to see how we do this, and that's going to help them continue to refine their own programs. So,
we are the Change Companies, and I just want to say I'm really thrilled with being here. The work that you're doing, one of the things Scott said, does have national implications. The quality of your work as it moves out, and we're very interested in linking in whatever way that we can. I've been focused on life change for about 20 years now, so Kathleen had asked me in 15 minutes to share all I've learned in 20 years, and I'm going to do that. We're going to start out by talking about 4 areas of change from a research point of view that we think would be important for you to know about and appreciate. And then in the afternoon we can apply how this research plays to Healthy Quarters, the program that will be available to you. So please stop us. By the way, you don't have to take any notes or anything. We have slides that you'll see here that we can pass out to each of you. So we're just going to try to go through here, starting out with some basic things that you all would know, but I want to reinforce. Change is a universal life experience. Everyone changes. I mean, if you think in your own mind, what's the one thing that you've changed most recently? What's that major life change that you have made? I've been trying to handle my temper a little bit better than I have in previous years, and for the last 2 or 3 years really focused on how do I do a better job at that. But each of you would be able to look at what personal thing have you made a basic life change on. And as we go through this morning presentation, it might be good to keep that in mind as you go, because you then can apply what you're hearing here to your own lives. But everyone changes, so it's done. Change is possible, which links in here. Many of the studies that we work with, the whole idea was called self-efficacy, where if people don't think that they can change, they probably won't. And so this encouragement consistently that change is something that you can do, that you're capable of doing, is just huge in this.
If I could just add one thing. I don't know if you're familiar with Robert Rosenthal and his work, or sometimes termed the Oak School experiments. What Rosenthal did was take instructors, which I see your roles oftentimes as a leader and instructor, and prep the instructors ahead of time to identify whether or not a person was high likely to change or low likely to change. Just by that prep ahead of time, and I'll set the experiment up real quick. What Rosenthal did was say, okay, tell the instructor aside, this group over here, you two tables, you are the late blooming students in this course. Okay, now these guys are going to have better grades, more participation, and they're going to be more engaged at the end of your semester. You just pay attention to these guys. Now this group over here, these guys, they are average students. And they will continue to be fairly average students throughout the semester. Lo and behold, end of the semester comes around, what happens? This group right here, truly late bloomers. Better grades, more participation, more engaged in the entire process of their education. This group over here, average students. What was the difference between them? Absolutely nothing. They were randomly assigned individuals. They were just picked here and here, here and here. What it was really is it came down to the whole idea of a transmission of expectation. That instructor, in their mind, believed that this group was going to achieve, and therefore treated them in ways, verbal, nonverbal, body language, everything about what they did let this group know, you're doing it. You're going in the right path. I'm going to move you along there. This group over here got less attention. Less focus on what it was that they were doing positive. So that just falls within this piece.
Well, since I first came into the room, I really did think this was the right. No offense. All change, all real change is self-change. I think we all know that, but man, we mess that up every day. I mean, with our kids, with our parents. But all change is self-change. It comes from within. And a huge thing is change is a process, not an event. And I've talked to a couple of people even today about how it's messy. And one of the challenges that each of you will have in doing the work that you do is it's not slick. It's not, oh, here's this website that you go to and it will change your lives. It's something that has to be done in all kinds of little pieces, and it's messy, and often you take 2 steps ahead, and then you take a step back, and then maybe 2 steps back, and then 3 steps ahead. So even in measurement, I think you're our measurement person, sometimes you catch people taking that 1 step back, which is the appropriate thing for them to do for a long-term change. And it shows up as a negative when it's really a positive. So when you think of change, it's not something that happens in January. It's something that happens every day of every year.